Truth and voice. Applying the ideas of truth and your voice to your social issue so that as you develop the rest of your communication, you can access those things in your thinking and in your messages. So please type a list or paragraph addressing each question. The first is, what truth have you uncovered? There is absolute truth that corresponds to the one reality in every situation. Things that are true regardless of belief, regardless of culture, regardless of experience. There are some things that are true. And that absolute truth that corresponds to the one reality, what have you experienced that is actual in your research? Those things that are beyond debate, that you can point to as fact. Then there is truth that is relative to language, culture, people, belief, things that happen that don't happen to others. Things in one language that appear one way and in another language appear another way. There are things that will seem to, on the surface, change depending on your perspective. So that language, culture, person, or belief, truth. There's also truth that coheres into a system or body of knowledge. So you have that systematic view. Does your entire system cohere together? When Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, he is talking about corresponding to the one reality. You need to discover that. But you also need to discover those elements that do change and make sure they cohere to a system. The fourth aspect is deconstructive truth that address power imbalances, that pictures the perceptions that encompass your experience and that are practical. They work for an individual or community of people that actions can be based on. So you have the four different perspectives of truth, and your social issue will have some in each of those. And what is the nature of that truth? Have you discovered the absolute and objective that corresponds to reality? Have you discovered the relative and subjective? Those are essential, and they mirror number one and number two. What is God's voice concerning your issue is a very important thing. Listing out those verses and a short element of what is in them, or other authority, such as your church or a bishop or pastor or someone in the history. So what is God's voice concerning your issue? And then finally, what is your voice? I urge you to look carefully at the other video on your voice concerning your issue to be able to fill that out in its completeness. So, truth and voice is your voice founded in the truth, or is it simply your opinion?